Hi there, I'm John Keirstead from Arctic Spas. Today we're going to talk about when you should shock your water. It's interesting, it's one of those things that was swimming pool related. Shocking was something that you did from time to time, and mainly the shocking was because you'd get a buildup of reacted chemical in your water. So you'd have this reacted chemical in your water, so we'd artificially increase the sanitization and oxidization capabilities of the spa, and there's a number of different products that we use to do that. What's interesting is that most of you have a spa that runs on a saline system, right? And most of our customers also have the peak ozone system. So if you have an ozone system and you're using a salt system, you actually don't need to shock your water because the system does it automatically. It's already maintaining that, and we're not building up that residual of reacted chemical. That's actually why when people say, oh, well, why is it that the saltwater spas don't have that strong scent and smell, and like in our showroom here, you don't smell any chlorine or bromine or stuff. It's actually the reacted chemical that you're smelling, and that reacted chemical, it builds up and builds up and builds up, and it never gets out of the water. So then we have to shock it from time to time to free up the chlorine or bromine so it can do its job again. So when do you shock your water on a traditional maintenance spa? Is when you start to see that it's becoming difficult to manage, maybe your sanitizer level isn't looking good, or your water itself just starts not looking as nice, right? The water gets cloudy, that sort of thing. This is when people traditionally will want to shock their water. And basically shocking just means we're going to bring up the level of sanitizer in the water and oxidizer. Chlorine is both a sanitizer and an oxidizer. Some companies like to use a product, like we have a product called Refresh. I'm not a fan of using this because I think that Ozone is a much better product. Ozone is an active form of oxygen, and its byproducts are oxygen. So I find, our philosophy is we don't want to put any extra chemicals in here that can react. Lots of people actually have skin issues with Refresh. I'm one of them, so I never use it. Ozone's a lot better from that point of view, and it really, if we can reduce one more chemical that you don't have to put in your spa, why wouldn't we do that? So a lot of people, because the cheat sheets and stuff that the companies hand you, and a lot of the videos online will tell you, shock your water once a week whether it needs it or not. My philosophy is that don't add chemicals to your tub if you don't need to add chemicals to your tub, right? If the tub is beautiful, looks great, smells great, feels great, you do not need to shock your water. So when should you shock your water? You should shock your water, normally you should shock your water if it's cloudy, it smells wrong, there's something going on. And I'm telling you not to add a chemical. So what should you do? Well, the first thing I tell everybody that has an Arctic spa, if you have a Spa Boy system or an Ozone system or any of our saline-based setups, and you have peak ozone, the first thing that you should always do if you're having anything going wrong with your water is increase your filter cycle. Increasing the filter cycle is going to filter the water more, but it also, when you set your ozone, the ozone can be set to the low speed of the pump. By default, that's how it is set. So what happens is as your tub is filtering on low speed, it's also ozonating the water. So ozonating the water is like shocking it all the time. Right? So as soon as you have any water clarity issue or an off smell or it just doesn't feel right, increase your filter cycle for 24 hours a day until it's no longer like that. Then you can lower it back to what it was, and you should be fine. If you have heavy use, a lot of times after you have heavy use, or as soon as I know I'm having guests over or something like that, I automatically switch my tub to 24 hours filtration, because that's always going to be the first thing I want to do. I'm going to ozonate 24 hours a day. I'm going to filter 24 hours a day, and that's going to handle the majority of the stuff that you'd have to work with. All right, so that's number one. Number two is, hey, if the sanitizer level is getting a little bit low, or you're getting a little additional pressure, maybe that's why it's not keeping up, use that boost function. There's a Spa Boy boost function that you can use from the app, you can use from the portal, or you can just hold down the pump 2 key for 5 seconds. It'll go through, say, boo, and then it'll say SBB, stands for Spa Boy Boost, and then that'll initiate your Spa Boy right away. One of the things we try to tell our customers is every time you get in, initiate the boost. Of course, the sensor is going to wait until the level drops and then turn on automatically, but if you can tell it, hey, I'm using it, we're contaminating it, or it looks a little messy already, and we want to deal with it right away, start that Spa Boy Boost, get some extra sanitizer in there. You could even, you know, if you find that you're just finding, oh, I just can't seem to get my chlorine level up, because the sunlight does break it down if you're using it in the daytime and it's summer, or you get lots of use and you put extra pressure, that's when we want you to shock with the liquid chlorine. The liquid chlorine will immediately boost your chlorine level in your spa, and the nice thing about using the liquid chlorine is it's not stabilized and it integrates with your saltwater system perfectly. And that's it, like shocking your water, unless you feel like you want to tease it a little, right? And see if that does anything. I don't know if that will help your water chemistry at all, but it might be fun. I'm John Keirstead for Arctic Spas. Thanks for watching the video.